By using the webCRM system's overview and email templates, you can create overviews where you, based on your segmentations in webCRM, can send your newsletters directly through the webCRM system and at the same time on the individual customer cards see that the recipient has received the newsletter. The newsletter can include links to relevant PDF files, links to websites, and through webCRM's website integration include a link to automatically unsubscribe the newsletter and much more. If you use webCRM's campaign module, you can also track which links your customers click in the newsletter, so you prospectively can target your direct marketing in the areas of which the various recipients have shown interest. This video is divided into chapters so you easily can find the information you want to learn more about. In this view, you can see when the various chapters starts, so you can fast forward to the chapter you need. To create a template for your newsletter, click Utilities, Templates, and Email Templates. Click on Create Email Template. Now select what type your template should be. Please note that you can always add more types and edit the existing ones under Configuration, drop-down lists, and Email. Once you have selected the type of your template, you must give it a description and then select under Merging where you want to be able to retrieve your data from to your template. To the right, you can choose which access limitations to be set to your template. You can also choose a default subject line for your newsletter. Click Save, and the editor in where you create your newsletter will now open. Now click on the template icon and select one of the already predefined templates you want to use for the newsletter. Start by deleting the example text and begin to write your newsletter. Note that if you paste text in from an example Word or other text programs, it's important that you use the correct insert icons for this to ensure that the text is cleaned up before being inserted into the template. When writing your newsletter, you can now take advantage of the merge fields that, depending on the merge type you have chosen, offers you a number of options to merge information from the customer card and the underlying entities in the webCRM system. Now continue to write the text to your newsletter and use the merge fields where it is possible, like here in your signature, so the right information is displayed for the user that sends the newsletter. When you're done with your text, you can benefit from using the spell checker that goes through the text for typos. The images in these templates you can replace with your own. Delete them and insert a new one as shown in the chapter for this. To insert a picture into your template, double-click on the image to get the correct size on the image you want to replace with a new. Now delete the example and click on Insert Image. Here you choose whether you want to link to an image on a website or if you want to upload and insert an image. If you choose the last mentioned, you now click on Browse and select the image from the list by double-clicking on it. Is the picture not yet uploaded to webCRM? Click Upload to do this. Finally click OK, and the image is now inserted into the template. You can also, as shown here, choose to add a banner to the top of your newsletter. To insert a link to a PDF or any other file type, you must place the cursor in the template where the link to your file should be. You can also choose to select a part of the text that will form the link as shown here. Click on the file icon. Now click on Browse to select the file you want to link to. Note that this assumes that the file is uploaded to the webCRM system. If it isn't in the webCRM system yet, you must first upload it by clicking here on Upload and select the file. The file is now inserted as a link that the recipients can choose to download. To insert a link to a website, select the part of the text that should form the link as shown here. Now click on the link icon and paste the address of the website you want to link to. Click OK. And the link to the website is now inserted in the template. Note that if you need to change an existing link, select the link and click the link icon where you can change the address. With the shorthand feature, you can generate and insert larger standard text that you would normally write each time you send a new email. The shorthand texts are created to a template by clicking on Shorthand. Now insert a description of your shorthand text and enter the standard text in the box here and click Save. Note that the shorthand texts are only available when you send an individual mail to a contact person from the customer card and cannot be used in conjunction with a mass mailing of your newsletter. The shorthand text is chosen by placing the cursor in the template just before sending and click Shorthand to insert your standard text. To create a link to automatically unsubscribe from your newsletter, you can use webCRM's website integration to create a landing page for this. Access the module here under Configuration, Integration, and Landing Pages. Note that this requires that the module is enabled and configured as shown in the video webCRM's website integration, which you can find in the video menu in Help and Support. Click on Create. In the type you choose, Newsletter Sign On Off. Give it a description and click Save. You must now choose for how long time the link should be active in your newsletter. And at the same time, if one of you should receive an email receipt when a recipient unsubscribes from the newsletter. Now select the text to the Send button and insert a message that the recipients will see after having unsubscribed from the newsletter. Choose if the recipient's info is to be displayed on the landing page. If you want to create an activity to one of you, an example to follow up on the recipient's unsubscribing from the newsletter, you can here choose to add this and click Save. Now select what information should be the standard for your new activity and click Save again. In the fields below, select the block mass emails and change here to Enable Sign On Off and give it a name in the label. Block mass email is a checkbox on the person card that automatically excludes the person from all future mass mailing when this is checked. Click Save. And your landing page is now complete, and you can see the result here by clicking on Preview. To insert the link in your newsletter, you must access the template under Utilities, Templates, and Email Templates. Click on the yellow pen to edit your newsletter. Place the cursor in the newsletter where the link should be inserted and click the Merge fields to find it on the list. Note that you have the opportunity to change the text between the underscores with up to 50 characters. Your newsletter is finished and is ready for broadcast, and you now have to start creating the overview which the broadcast should be based on. If you're an existing customer with already existing templates in your webCRM system, you should be aware that if some of your templates look wrong in this editor, such as different fonts, etc., this will normally indicate that the template will be displayed incorrectly in the recipient's mail. These templates should be rectified so they look correct in the editor again. Note that you still have the possibility to code your newsletter in HTML if you want to do so. To create an overview in the webCRM system, click Utilities and Overviews. Click Create Overview. Now select the type of data the overview is to be based on. Note that you can't send a newsletter of the type organization, as email addresses are connected to the contact persons in webCRM. Set it to persons. Give it a description. And click Save. In the first of the 5 tabs, you must select the email in broadcast and optionally give it a description here. Now click the Advanced tab where you set Log Send Email enabled and click Save. When this function is enabled, a copy of your newsletter will be saved in the email history of the customer card that has the recipients of the newsletter. You can also choose to enable Create Activity if you, in your broadcast, will have the possibility to mass create activities to do a targeted follow-up after the broadcast. Click Save when you made your selection. In the data filter, you need to make your selection of which segmentations should receive the newsletter. Start by selecting your first filter in the data field, which, as in this example, is the customer type. In the operator, you can select if the matching value must be equal to or anything but. Now select the match value to be used for the selection. By ticking the Prompt User, you get the option to select the value of the criteria each time the overview is started. So in this way, you can base the same overview on different customer types from time to time. Afterwards, you can continue to select the criteria for your overview in order to expand with the function OR, which is looking for one or the other criteria, or narrow down your overview with the function AND, where both criteria must be present at the same customer card for this to be included in the overview. In this example, we will choose to narrow down the overview with the criterion of status and also here ticked Prompt User, so we in that way can affect both filtrations before the final overview is displayed. Click Save when you have chosen your data filter. In Sort Output, you can select whether the displayed data is to be sorted by specific data such as organization name, followed by the postal code, and then the organization type. In Display Data, you must now select the data to be displayed in the final result of the overview. And in the column Header, you can optionally choose to rename one or several of the columns. Once you have made your selection, click Save, and your overview is now complete and ready to send out your newsletter. You can start the overview here on View Overview, or from the front page of the webCRM system. All overviews in the webCRM system are dynamical, which means that every time a new customer falls within the selected filtrations, then they will be included in the overview the next time it's initiated. Your overview is now ready to find your segmentations, and your newsletter is ready to be sent out to your recipients, so you must therefore begin by starting up the overview here. First, choose what sorting you want in the overview, and choose the type and status of which will form the basis of your broadcast, and click Display Overview. You now see the result of your filter. Click on the email icon to send your newsletter, and the number of recipients are now reduced to those who haven't opted out the newsletter earlier, is not listed as retired in the contact person status, or marked as bounced from previous broadcasts. Choose whether you want to opt out additional persons from the recipients list. Then choose your newsletter template, and finally select the subject, sender, and sender's email. When you're ready, click Send, and your newsletter is now sent to the selected recipients. Subsequently, you can here, as mentioned earlier, Mass create an activity for all recipients in order to make a targeted follow-up to your newsletter. Click the icon and inset the values for the activity to be created, and select here at the bottom if you want one or more users to perform the follow-up. If you select a start and end date, the activities will be distributed over the selected period of time, so you in this way can have a few daily activities to follow up on. Your newsletter is now set up and can, combined with the overviews, be used for future broadcasts from your webCRM system. Should one or more newsletters be returned because the recipient's mail bounced, then you can register this here on the contact person card, or gather them all at once in the Organizations menu by clicking here on Report Bounced Mails, where you put them all in the box and click Update. In this way, they will be excluded from all future mass mailings made from your webCRM system.